Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of Leadia Fest Live. And today we decided it would be a good time to start talking about the minds behind Leadia Festival. Um, I'm introducing here Koray next to me.
Hi, everybody. Have a nice week ahead.
Yes, and I'm Johanna, and we are the curators of Leadia Festivals. So we've been asking people about their explorer stories, and we thought it would be good to share our own explorer story today.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, like maybe they wonder how we are thinking, how we have started to call each other or ourselves as explorer. What's being explorer for us?
right. And um, I think I want to start by saying when we were finding the right word to describe Lydia, the people that we want to find in Lydia, the word I kept describing or using to describe it was seeker. And
Mhm.
you remember Koray, his first language is not English. So the word speaker didn't really resonate with him. So we had to find another word that felt more alive and easier to grasp. Like, what do we really mean when we say explorer? So that's how we came up with it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. In fact, explorer is more than just looking for something or just seeking something. Explorer is more about how we are trying to find other things in the world. Like seeker is just like checking. Explorer is just to try to make a change for me.
Hmm. So, what makes you an explorer?
Well, I don't know. I mean, from my childhood, I think since 6 or 7 years old until so far, I always try to change, which is not working in the society or on my environment for me. I mean, there is no place to play when I was a kid. I was petitioning a signature campaign, and I was going to municipality and asking to build a play space. Okay, there's no there's no hospital for leukemia kids. Okay, so I was thinking how we can build a hospital, which that whole story Kitbar.
Just for the benefit of people watching us, like, what is that story? So,
It's in fact a funny story. When I was 20 years old, I was the member of a Leo club, charter member of a Leo club. And we were just establishing the club and we were trying to find activities which is going to help us to serve for the society. And people were saying different things. And I said, okay, let's build a hospital for leukemia kids.
no. I remember you said the idea was just to buy new televisions.
I will
Sorry.
sorry. So we went to check what is going on. I mean, I said, let's work with Leukemia Kids Foundation. Then we went, and my idea, we saw they were just thinking what they can do, and they were collecting the televisions for the kids' room. And there were so many televisions in the kids' room, and also one room was just for the TVs, full of the TVs. There was nothing to do. And we started to visit the kids. We were just like visiting them, giving them free or small toys, and they didn't like it. And I was thinking okay, we're coming here, but we need to do something like that. They were just a small clinic, few rooms in a hospital. I was like, we need to build a hospital. And then we went to the management of that foundation and we said, we want to build a hospital. And they laughed at us and they said, do you know how difficult it is to build a hospital?
Mhm.
And I'm like, no, we don't. They were like, you see. And I'm like, that's why we are going to build that. They didn't understand what you mean. I said, well, we have no baggage because we don't know how difficult it is. So whenever a difficulty is coming, we're just going to focus on solving it. Then the next one is going to come again, and we will work with it when it comes. But you know all the difficulties, your professors, your businessmen, you know all the difficulties. And you see how difficult that road is. For us, it's not like that. And we started. So now they have the hospital. We started it with Fenerbahçe match. Fenerbahçe came to İzmir, played for them for free.
So
So
you organized a fundraiser soccer match with one
soccer
of the best
match.
clubs of Turkey.
Not one of the best club of Turkey.
Okay, and then you were able to gather support from government, from different celebrities.
Yes, government, model agencies, like fashion shows, lots of activities came up, and we really made it. Now they have a hospital. There are many like guest houses for that, so they're quite functional. I think they have something like a self-processing center as well. So they're quite well established, which they're going to be a part of Leadia festivals on long term as well.
So this fundraising activity earned you the nickname Crazy Koray, right?
Yes, I mean, the foundation, the president of the foundation, then he had been a minister, was calling me as crazy. So, and after that, in all my life, rather than like trying to go to easy way, I was just trying to solve the problem from the root. So I think that's making me explorer. I lived in 10 different countries in 4 or 5 different continents. I had been to 60 countries most probably. Had been over maybe 500 cities. Lived in at least 20 different cities, maybe more. Sometimes in a village, sometimes in a huge metropole. I always try to find my happiness, and I was thinking like to find my happiness, I need to change the location. In fact, to find the happiness, I need to be surrounded with people who will make me flourish. Those people are positive people. Those people are people who support each other. Those people are respect others' differentialities. I mean, you may not be agreed about the ideas of the other person, but you respect that person's idea. And obviously nowadays in the world we are more polarized. Those respect, those understanding, those like tolerance to the other ideas, differentialities are being much more important. And for my generation, or for the people like me, as much as we are losing that diversity and respect to that diversity, we start to lose our own identity, and it makes us less happy.
You know, there's this big focus now on diversity, mostly coming from the West. I feel like they have to be very deliberate with including the diversity idea in whatever they do. But we always say that we're from the diversity crowd. We are the diversity crowd. And Filipina, you're Turkish. The people we're gathering are also not from single nation or single country places. So the tolerance that we're trying to build in Leadia is not just a lip service kind of tolerance. It's really diversity and the exploration of this diversity. What would you say is your biggest discovery or exploration today? You're 51.
I think my biggest exploration is I want the diversity. I feel like my exploration is like I explored or learned lots of things in business world about the countries, cultures. But I think I built a muscle of being open to adaptate to new cultures and learn from them. I think that is my biggest win so far.
So the muscle to be able to adapt, not just adapt, but make other people feel like they belong with you.
Yes, and also, as you know, as nature, I am keen to accept the challenge.
Mhm.
And I have no problem to tell people like what is needed and to force them. I think those are my biggest wins, biggest gains in the last 25
I mean,
years.
now that you're talking about it, okay, so if it's about pushing people to be more, to be who they are and challenge existing boundaries, existing ways of doing this, what's next for you?
My next is to make Leadia alive. We are working for it for 4 years and we are just at the start. But you know, on this thing, the start is a long period, and when you complete the start, it's going to be so fast. I want to live around those people who will make me flourish, who I can make a change on them, who we can support each other. With us, we can make a change in the world. And like, I want to live around the people who are more clever than me, who are more curious than me, who are better version of me. Oh, and also to be fair, in some ways, I need to be their better version so we can have exchange. If you're going to be all like surrounded with people who are much more better than you, it's going to be quite selfish because you cannot contribute too much. You will expect all of them just contribute.
I mean, just to dig deeper into that, like what you're good at can be something that other people aren't good at, and they can be smarter than you in whatever they're good at. So, as you said, it's a mutual benefit.
Yes, it's like win-win situation. So sometimes you will give, sometimes you will get. And I think the muscle which I still need to build is like I need to be open to ask.
That's very important. Yeah. It's also very humbling to be on the receiving end.
Yes, I think I have problems about being on the receiving end. I noticed that a few years ago, still I couldn't change it. When someone gives me a present, I feel awkward. I don't know how to behave. I feel shy. I feel like, in one way, humiliated or like not comfortable.
Mm.
But also, see, that's making them uncomfortable. And I think that's making their happy moment to a bad experience. Or when someone really appreciates me, I don't feel so comfortable. So I think those are the things.
Mm. Well, it's great to know what you feel like you need. That's another next step for you. What's missing and what you want to develop some more. Yeah. So next step is not always building something, but it could be a step inside and building something inside.
Yes, and also about the diversity part. This weekend we have some guests from Turkey, from Philippines, and we were hosting them. And that was really nice conversation. By the way.
Yeah.
They were like us, a multinational family, biracial family, but they live in different locations also. So, and when we were talking about them, when we were talking to them, we understood that, in fact, all developed countries are trying to welcome the cultural diversities. They try to keep that mosaic, the cultural mosaic in their structure more alive. They're trying to respect differentialities. But lots of countries right now which we are saying that we are not as modern as before, or we are losing our identity. If you're going to deep dive, you're going to see that those countries are kinda not opening, kinda not supporting people to be open to the diversities. They are being more nationalist. Don't get me wrong. To love your nation, to love your country is an amazing. But to come to the point that when you're loving your country, you are just differentiating is according to the racism or a specific nationality in that country, a specific ethnic group in that country is going to be against the diversity or a religion or something. Being exclusive or being selected is a good thing. But being isolated is not a great thing.
Yeah.
I think those are the things in my exploration. Oh, by the way, there's another thing. In last, I think, 5 or 6 years, I started to read more and more. I started to try to question more and more. And it is helping you a lot about your discoveries.
To be like a child, always asking why. And when you get an answer, it's another why.
Yeah, I don't think I'm asking that much, but still at 52, to keep curious, to keep wondering, to keep trying to learn, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, and at the very core of exploration is that it's wanting to learn.
And also, I think I am quite lucky because I am thinking like lots of people in Turkey started to travel around the world, the generation before us, when they are above 40s. I started to travel around the world in my very early 20s. So it was different. And I think I was one of the risk takers. Of course, I was scared, but I didn't make too much problem to lose my statue or position because I always have the courage to start again.
Again, when I first met you, that's one striking thing that hit me. Oh, this is a guy who knows how to rise and knows how to fall and stand up again.
Well, technically, you cannot know how to fall,
You can, you know how to fall.
but
You fall
You
without
are
breaking
being-
your legs or bones.
you are being more like stronger as much as you're falling down.
So you're building a muscle,
Yes.
yeah, about it. So in a way, exploring is also building as many different muscles as you can.
Yes, and also exploring is also one part is not being is being not scared of failing because each failure is a lesson.
In a way, to fall is to
Yes.
fail.
And
So if you know how to fall, you wouldn't be so scared of it.
if you are failing, also like on your each failure, there will be another opportunity coming.
Yeah.
For example, Christophe Colomb discovered America, but he was trying to find an easier way to India.
Mhm.
So, I mean, in one way, his failure, on the other hand, was the biggest discovery of the world.
I think that's the whole idea of being an explorer. You meet everything that comes to your way with possibility. It's like, oh, I'm not attached so much to the end goal, but I know where I want to go. If something comes up before then, I'm willing to give it my time and day.
Absolutely. And also, I think that I want to add something. Surrounded with the people who will support you on your journey. And when you fail, those people are going to be open-minded to show you the other possibilities is going to make it.
So different perspectives.
Different perspectives, different knowledge, different expertise, and like positive people. Positive is not like, okay, you failed, that's okay. It's not going to.
So what do you mean by positive?
It's like, okay, you failed, but what you learn? And how can you convert this failure to a win?
Right, so it's recognizing it, feeling what you need to feel, and just moving on. Next. Yeah. One of the best friends of explorers, I guess, is next.
Yes, in one way, but until you're going to that next, you need to recover yourself. Like, oh, it's like you're feeling horrible and you're going to the next trip. You are not going to be successful. Give yourself time to recover in one. And on the recovery, put a limit how you will feel safe. Then think and discover what was your mistake and how you could change it.
No, we don't have a lot of time, but just one last comment. When you were talking about like exploring what's next and making time for what pops up, even if it's unexpected, like how do you reconcile that with being distracted so easily, which is something I'm guilty of. Like when you're exploring, you have to have your eye on the goal somewhat. And if there are things that pop up, like side events, you explore those too, but you never lose sight of the goal.
If you're in love with your target, your real exploration,
You will never lose your way.
you're not
Yeah.
never going to lose your way. Yes, there were so many distractions on our way in the last 5 years. But we just thought how we can connect them to Leadia.
We always went back. So we have our compass, our inner compass.
Yes. And it's always good to have side things like if you're an artist, you're a complete artist. Usually in Turkey, the best actors can sing, can play some instruments, can read poems, can write. So those it's a complete package, and those are like their hobbies. Can you imagine you're the most successful businessman of the world, but you have no hobbies. You have no time for your private life. You're going to be quite a like like quite dull, not like shining person.
Mm.
Everybody is going to come to you just to make business, and I think it's so sad.
So very single-sided. Yeah. Very
Yeah.
narrow way.
That's
It's like
also
a narrow,
diversity.
it's narrow success
Yes,
because it's just one aspect of you as a human person.
yes, and also that's the diversity.
Okay, let's leave it at that. We will never stop talking, but later on we will have another episode, episode 11. Well, it will be my turn to share my stories of exploration. So thank you for watching. We'll
Thank you
see
very
then.
much, guys.
And
Bye bye. See you.
Istanbul, our festival is just 16 days away. So if you're considering at all to be part of this, just hit the apply button or send us a message if you want to get to know us more.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.